Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting here after one of the most frustrating results of the season as Carlisle lose 2-1 away at Barnsley. And look, this is the first time this season that I've genuinely thought we're going to get relegated this season. And look, that's maybe me being a bit optimistic there. A lot of people have said that for a long time before this, but up until today, I've thought that there's a way out and that eventually we'll start picking up points. But look, if we can't beat that lot today, then I don't know where points are going to start coming from, because we should have been 3 or 4-0 up inside the opening 20 minutes today. You know, I'm happy that Luke Armstrong's got his first goal, and look, that was probably the only real opportunity that fell to him. But Danny Butterworth up top, and look, on the overall, run of play, you'd say he played quite well, but he could have had a hat-trick in the first half, and he hasn't got a goal today. And it's really them kind of things that, look, he's starting as a striker. He's starting as a front two. I don't care how many step-overs he does or how many nice little flicks or passes he pulls off. If he can't score, he shouldn't be playing up top. And look, I don't know who you play there instead of him, but it's really frustrated me today. And look, Barnsley, you can say they're a top 6 team. You can say they're going for the playoffs. You can say they've got a lot higher budget or a lot higher paid players than us, but today they were awful. That's probably by Barnsley fans' own admissions. That first half especially was probably the worst they've played all season, and they absolutely gifted it to us today. Especially in that opening half an hour, because look, there's the one that Danny Butterworth drags wide, which for some reason he decides to take with his right foot and try and curl it for some reason. The one-on-one inside the opening minute of the game, and there's another one that the header that ultimately was a lot more difficult than the other two. But still, the fact that he's come away with no goals today, I think he'll be gutted with that, and fans should be as well. And look, in the first half, it's people say online that's the best we've played. And that's true. I think we did play well in the first half, but there is a case of it being that Barnsley didn't play well as, look, we might have looked good in that first half, but that's because Barnsley were absolutely atrocious. They couldn't get a hold of things. They couldn't string passes together. They were making bad mistakes at the back. I want to just go back and think about the chances we had today. How many of them were made by good Carlisle play, and how many of them were made by Barnsley mistakes? Because I guarantee you the vast majority of them were from Barnsley mistakes. And look, and these are the type of games when you come up against a team that's, they're under pressure and they're misperforming, they're in bad form. Not necessarily in the games before, but on the day they haven't showed up, they haven't turned up, and they're not playing at their best, and they're gifting you opportunities like that, and you still can't get a win. That's a team that's going to get relegated. And look, I can take the Oxford results. I can take the likes of the Portsmouth, where we've come away to a team or playing at home against a team that's up there and they're playing at their best and they're just better than us. I can take them results because I can accept that we're one of the, going into this season especially, maybe not since January, but we're by far one of the lowest budgets in the league with one of the lowest wage bills, that there are going to be teams in this division that are just plain and simple better than us. And I can take it when we come up against them teams. But when you've got a team like today where Barnsley are playing like they did, then you've got to be putting the chances away. You've got to be taking more than a point today. I'd have been really gutted with a point today, and I'm even more heartbroken that we haven't even got a point out of that, because Barnsley will feel so lucky. And look, you can say it's a soft penalty, and I do think it's a soft penalty. Jordan Gibson comes on and immediately puts a tackle in the box that gets given as a pen by the ref. Do I think he got the ball? No, but it's a soft one. He doesn't need to go over, and it's a modern penalty. That's the best way to put it. It's a penalty that wouldn't have been given 10 years ago, but in the modern game, we've seen plenty of them should have been given to us that haven't been. But yeah, and yes, people will take positives from that game today, and I understand that, because ultimately on the balance of play, we were the better team against a really underperforming Barnsley team. But if we can't win them games, then we're not going to win any, and that's the plain and simple truth. It now puts us in a position where we're not bottom, we're second off bottom, I think 5 points away from safety, with the teams around us having some have 2 games in hand on us, some have 3. I don't really know how that's happened. Maybe it's because we've been knocked out of every single cup at the first time of asking. But yeah, look, that today, it's a gut wrenching result, and it's going to be one that if we go down, which is looking very likely at the minute, they're the types of results we're going to look back on and think we should have beaten them, and we haven't, because we can't put our chances away. Unfortunately, more didn't fall to Luke Armstrong, and I will go over some of the positives. Luke Armstrong was good today. I think he was our man of the match. He got the goal, and even without that, he was just really strong up front. I think a lot of what happened up top was from him bossing the defenders about. It's just unfortunate that most of the opportunities given to us fell to Butterworth, and the one that did fall to him, he managed to put away with an absolutely lovely finish from about 25 yards out, something like that. So I think he's a good sign, and I think that's going to be one of hopefully quite a few this season, and hopefully one of many to come in his Carlisle career. It's just unfortunate that the way things are going, that Carlisle career is going to be in League Two for at the very least next season, which is just so frustrating, because today we were so much better, and because Barnsley were awful, and to not, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but to not get anything out of that game today, we really need to be doing better, and Paul Simpson will feel absolutely good with that today. But yeah, let me know what you think. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to leave it there in a bit.